awesome house. Now, today we're going to look at different ways to handle the situation of the totally terrible, horrible, ridiculous house. What to say, how to handle it. If the person's an axe murderer, you might want new tactics. If it's the Queen of England, you're going to find yourself in different situations. Let's look at how best to handle it. Okay? Great. Okay, so there's always the first approach, which is just blurting out exactly, what's on your mind. It could be a little crass, a little tactless, but sometimes it works. So if you have no imagination and limited vocabulary, and you see a house that you think is terrible, you just might say something like, "Hey, piece of shit, didn't cost an arm and a leg," you know what I'm saying? Piece of shit. There's one approach. Now, let's say that your best friend, your bridesmaid at your first wedding, came into a lot of money, but she had no taste up the wazoo. And she has bought herself a lovely country home, and she's been raving about, "You must come, you must come." And finally you clear your busy schedule of, emptying the cat litter and, various sundry things. You clear the schedule, and you go for the weekend. And she wants to meet you at the village before you drive to the estate. And so she hops in the car, she meets you, and you're driving up the winding road, and there it is. Frankenstein meets Edward Scissorhands. I would recommend in that instance to go into your verbal, non-verbal expression. High expression, no talk. You might do something like, speechless, overcome with the halluciousness of the whole thing. Great word, hallucious. Put that in your new words acquired this week list, because we're going to go to several languages to find the perfect word to describe each perfect situation. So should we review quickly? We just did piece of shit, speechless, but full of facial expression. And now for number 3. For number 3, you could do the English, very correct, don't say anything, evasive, full of expression, and totally sort of avoid the situation. Don't deal with it directly head on. Take some more imagination, skill, to help dancing, and how you do it. And if you have a wand, let the wand do the talking. Oh dear. Off to the dollar store to get another one. But anyway, the wand could go, make a sound there, and you could sort of take a deep breath. If it looks terribly like a brothel, red velvet and Elvis paintings, you might want to say something about, "Ooh, I see you're intending to have a lot of romance, Don't say something crass about sex. Put it in the terms of romance, Or if it looks terribly austere, maybe like a convent, they're doing the Quaker meets the Pope look, you could say something about a path to enlightenment. You always try to take it to the next level wherever possible. Broaden it. There's always the base common denominator, but we've lived there long enough. Let's throw in a few more spices, get a little more global in our perspective, and how to deal with total tacky with a wand and a fake English accent. Gets you through every situation. Ta! Off to the next castle. Mwah!